So it looks like we have confirmation that Top Gun 3 is happening, and we got a little glimpse into the story. I know a lot of people were speculating a third movie was coming out. I know also a lot of people were hoping a third movie would not come out. But considering the second movie was equally as good as the original, which is a rarity, why not make a third? But I think we might be pushing our luck. Let's hope I'm wrong. I love Top Gun. Let's just read this article because there's a lot to talk about here. Top Gun 3 is happening. It's in development, and it reveals, quote, one last ride. Plot details about Tom Cruise's Maverick. So it seems that director Joseph Kosinski has revealed a little bit about the story, what's going to happen. Says the second installment was a major hit, leading to the confirmation of Top Gun 3. That being said, he says that Maverick will remain a key focus in Top Gun 3. He's also saying that the third outing will follow the character as his experiences an existential crisis. Now, an existential crisis could be many, many different things. What he did say in the quote is, I think we found a way to do it, not only in the scale of what we're proposing, but the idea itself of the story we're telling. We're thinking much bigger than, it's a really existential crisis that Maverick has in this. And it's much bigger than himself. It's actually, I'm trying to describe it without giving anything away. It's an existential question that Maverick has to deal with that would make Maverick feel small, I think, as a movie compared to what we're talking about. Now, what in the world could he possibly be referring to? So something huge happens that Maverick has to ask himself about. He mentioned question that he has to deal with. An existential question that Maverick has to deal with. That would make Maverick feel small. Maybe admitting he's not as good as Rooster? Maybe he's got to admit that Rooster's better than him? No. Makes him feel small because he thinks he's a hotshot, right? So something that's going to knock him down a couple pegs. So there's got to be something going on. Does he have to retire? Does he have to pass the torch? Something's going on. That's good. Now it's got me thinking. Something that makes Maverick feel small. It does confirm that this will be Maverick's final outing. So there will not be another Top Gun movie after this. If there is, it will have nothing to do with Maverick. He says, quote, yeah, there's still more story to tell for him. There's one last ride. So we're working on it now. Aaron Kruger, who wrote F1, is writing the script. Like all things, it takes a while to work things out, and we'll only do it if we feel like we've got a strong enough story. Now, I feel like that's a given because Tom Cruise isn't going to do it unless he knows the story is good, which is the same thing he said about making the second one. So Tom Cruise is going to have to write off on this. Even if they think the script is good enough, Tom Cruise is going to have to think it's good enough. Oh my God, what's to come? What happened? The late Val Kilmer reprised his role in the Iceman in the last Top Gun Maverick. His character's death marks one of the movie's most emotional moments. Mavic grappling with a world in which he is no longer needed and proving why he is could be what Kosinski is referring to. So maybe that's what they're referring to. He's not needed because there are less and less dogfights going on. Like they were talking about, there's not a need for jet fighter pilots anymore. Maybe that's what it is. He's got to move on. He's got to realize that his position is no longer there. Speculation, of course. So there are hints in the second movie. I don't know what that could be referring to, but I am very, very curious. Iceman's death could metaphorically represent the end of an era for fighter pilots. Kind of what I was just saying. Essentially, as unmanned drones become prominent features of modern warfare. Mavic grappling with a world in which he is no longer needed could be what Kosinski is referring to. Though Top Gun 3 sounds like it could be a final outing for Maverick, Kosinski notably doesn't say that it will be a final installment in the franchise. All right, so he's not saying this is the final movie in the franchise, but he's saying this is Maverick's final outing. So this is going to be an exit for him. If it continues, it will be picked up by, say, Teller's Rooster or Pal's Hangman or something like that. I'm down with it. I'm on board. I am totally on board. It doesn't really state a whole lot more after that, but I think that gives us a pretty big telling for Top Gun 3. I think that's what is going to happen. The existential question, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, that Maverick has to face. Iceman mentioned that he's no longer needed. We have drones. Dogfights aren't a thing anymore. Move on, Maverick. So now what is he facing? Retirement? A position behind a desk? He's not going to want that. I don't know. I like it, though. I like it. I'm excited for this. I can't wait for more. I'm sure you do, too. Which obviously begs the question, what are your thoughts? Put it down in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on the Top Gun 3. Also, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, and I will see you at the concession stands.